Hey everybody, it's Alexia from amysticspath, back with another video for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Now, this video covers the full moon that we have in the sign of Leo. This is taking place this Sunday, February the 9th. Now, I am very excited about this moon. When we are looking at the sign of Leo, we are looking at a fire sign that is highly motivated. When you look at the energy of Leo, Leo is highly confident. Leo knows exactly what it is that they want, how they're going to do it. They know what that next goal is, what their next step is, and they are very, very good at what it is that they do, and they like to be in the middle of the spotlight. This is because they have done the work and they have put so much time and motivation and energy into what it is that they're trying to cultivate and what it is, how they want to live their lives and how they want to enjoy that. Okay, and it's not because it's so much as, you know, like they're naturally just so gifted. It's the fact that they go in and they are so motivated that they keep working out what it is that they're doing because they're just filled with all this passionate and fiery energy. And it is really, really a great sign to be in if you know how to work with the energy, just like all of the signs. But when I'm looking at this full moon in particular, I'm really feeling the energies of letting go your limitation, or your limitation that you have on yourself, whether that be how much money you think you can bring in, or how well that thing you're trying to manifest is going to manifest, or whatever it is that you're trying to bring in, or if it's healing, whatever the case that it is for you, is that you're letting go of the limitation of how it's going to turn out, because it can be so much more than what you're kind of putting it. And you're almost that it's kind of, up until this point, you've kind of been putting yourself in a box. And this energy is kind of like trying to work to break free from those limitations and those bonds from what it is that you can create and what you believe that you can create, so you can travel to a whole new place and a whole new reality within your life. Okay? Now, when we get into the cards, the first spot is, where is my personal power during this moon? And we get the perception card, as well as undies and mermaids. And this is talking about how you see things and how you perceive them in your reality based on what has happened to you. Okay? And how you register that, how you calculate it, how you make sense of everything. And this is saying that the true power within this moon is your perception. Is your perception good, or is it negative? Okay, and that is how things are going to manifest from this point on, especially if you are doing some type of work or prayer or speaking intentions. Your perception is everything. How positive you are is everything. The silver lining, and even the fact that, do you have hope or do you not have hope of this thing coming in and this thing coming to fruition? Because all of those things factor on how that is going to create within your life. Okay, however you think things are going, ideally is how they're going to end up transmuting, because you're putting that energy in there. So make sure you're paying attention to your thoughts and how you are receiving information, and how that information is being calculated within your brain. Okay, make sure you're coming from a place that at least has hope and faith for things to kind of turn out and come in the way that you want them to. Now, what belief, relationship, or habit no longer serves me? And we get the thought card, as well as salamanders. And what I'm really seeing with this is a person that may have anxiety, or just be really, really, really on the go. Somebody who is always in their head, always calculating, always like, okay, I got to do this over here, then I got to do this over here. And that is kind of weaving and strategizing to get through their day. It's almost like this fight or flight energy, like that adrenaline rush. Either you are like running from something, or you're like fighting against it. And it's kind of that energy that you always have to strategize and kind of be bouncing around and really on your toes and aware of everything that's going around for you to be able to survive. And even if that is a part of your past, or even something that you are trying to get out of, or recently got out of, or it's a part of trauma from your childhood of having to live and survive like that, that it is okay to let that go. That is something that is no longer serving you. That's outdated. That's old beliefs. You can kind of give yourself that space and that time to be able to live. But you have to first register this within your thought process, within your brain, and kind of receive that information to be able to let that go. And then you kind of chip that off piece by piece, because it's sometimes for some of us, it might not be something we can just completely let go of unless you've already been working on this. But nevertheless, it's the fact that you're still working in a place where you're trying to where you're basing your every move off of survival and not living in what is best for you. Okay. Now, what area of life could benefit from me taking a risk? And we have the 9 of air and the 7 of water. Now, really, what I'm seeing within this is, and especially as far as risks goes, a lot of the way you see that, a lot of your perception within risks and taking chances on yourself is kind of altered, because there is this space of leaving what is solid, what is already has a foundation, leaving that and breaking that apart to have to build a new foundation and doing different things. Okay, but we have to remember to be open-minded. If we are wanting change and wanting different, but we are afraid to do different because we are afraid of what might happen, and looking at it from almost a fear-based standpoint of the what ifs that come into your mind and having that kind of encompass you. What if you opened your mind and said, okay, what would this look like if everything did go okay? What would this look like if everything did go all right? And then factor that in. Sometimes we are really reluctant to go ahead and dive head first and go into things because it might be too scary or too much of a brain shock. But open your minds a little bit and see what could the possibility excuse me, be if everything worked out the way that you wanted to, if you took this risk. What would that look like for you? Okay, does that outweigh the fear? And then look to see, is that fear that's keeping you from taking this risk? Okay, look at it and see what it is, so then you can open your mind enough to be able to see what's going on. Is this perception? Is this fear? Or is this actually my intuition? Or is this actually real? But you have to be able to expand your mind and have some clarity to look at things through almost removing yourself from the situation to look at things, because not all risks that you're taking are going to end up in everything falling apart. It's just the fact that things have to change to bring in what it is that you want. So then again, you have to look at it. Is it worth it? This thing that you want, is it worth it? Is it worth to change the environment that you're in right now? And you have to ask yourself that question, okay? Now, where are you being called to be creative and think outside the box? And we have the 4 of air and the 2 of water. And what I'm really seeing here is that a lot of us have been spending time calculating and pinpointing certain things, pinpointing certain dates, pinpointing certain goals, and lining them up in structure on how things should be and how things should work. Okay, and I'm really feeling the energy of taking a break from this structure and the rigidness of all of that, and let things come to you and kind of flow on what it is that you're trying to come in. Let what you're seeking come to you, instead of, okay, this has to go here and it has to go exactly like this. This has to go here and it has to go exactly like this. And this has to go here and it has to go exactly like this, because that's how you initially envisioned it. But again, we have to remember that we have to be able to flow and let things come to us. Let them come to us in a way that feels good, that we're not putting this stress on it. So it's energetically matching us. Why are you going to want to chase something with this rigid, aggressive energy, with all of this anger and resentment that it's not coming in? How much do you think that that's going to come in? Or is more anger and resentment going to come into your into your reality, because that is all that you're encompassing. That's all your perception is encompassing. That's all your thought process is encompassing. So it's really to be more creative, is to kind of let things flow, let things come to you. Live like almost in a space where things can kind of be joyous, and you can create from like love and laughter and happiness, instead of, okay, I've got this much time and I have to do this just this exact way for it to come into fruition. And that's not always the case. We can't be in that much control all of the time. Now, where am I seeking validation in my life? And we have the crone as well as the 3 of earth. And this is saying that within seeking validation is that you want to be seen for your accomplishments and what it is that you're doing, how good you've got at what it is that you've done, how much time and effort you've been putting into creating this in the physical world, and the knowledge that you know and the strength that you have and just all of who you are, and really wanting this to be known on the forefront, almost like you're ready, like, it's my time to shine. Look at me now. See me, see my gifts, see what I have to offer, which is all Leo energy. Like, that is Leo energy to the look at me, see what I have. I have all of these great things to offer. I'm so good at it. And this is something that you want to be recognized. And it's not really an ego-based thing. A lot of people put ego on the sign of Leo in general, and I mean, that's part of it, but it's also that they've put so much time and effort into what it is that they are doing that they want to be recognized because they have done so much to get there. And that's kind of where you're at right now. Okay, and I pulled some supporting cards, of course, and we got the 2 of Swords, the 9 of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, the High Priestess, and the 3 of Swords. And what I'm really seeing within this, guys, is that there's a decision that you're going to have to make about the luxury that you want to have in the way that you are enjoying your reality, the way that you're enjoying your environment, the way that you're enjoying what you create and what you bring into the world, okay? And also that you have to kind of look deep within yourself and see what that means to you, because this is about sacrifice. This is about something that might be important to you that you have to sacrifice or put it on the back burner because of what you want to bring in, okay? So you have to look and see, what is that and how much does that mean to you? Is it worth it? Is it not? And make that decision, for yourself. And I'm going to let you know now, in any instance that you have, if you are trying to bring something in and it is important to you, you have to make it a priority. When you're making something a priority, other things get sacrificed. Period. Point blank. That's just the cut and dry of it. If you are trying to change something, something else has to be sacrificed because you have to make room for that. So you have to really look yourself in the mirror and decide what that is for you and what that means for you specifically in your life. Okay? Now, I hope everybody got the clarity that they need on this video for the full moon in Leo. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. And if you feel like you need a full moon reading specifically for yourself or any reading specifically for yourself, please do not hesitate to contact me. I would love to work with you all.